Good morning, and thank you for watching Practical Devotionals video. This morning I want to talk about the cause of divorce. The other day we talked about the pain that divorce will bring and where it starts out at, how we start out with bad relationships and then we, 10 years down the line, wonder, what happened? Okay, well, a lot of times we find ourselves in those relationships and if you say, well, that's great, Bob, I wish I'd have known this 10 years ago when I was choosing a spouse, and now it's kind of late. I'm stuck in this relationship that's not working, and you're right. I see exactly what you're talking about. Well, then how do we keep it from ending in divorce? The cause of divorce, I believe we find in Proverbs 13:10, that through pride is where we find strife. But if we'll seek advice, we'll find wisdom. And let's apply that to our marriage. Now, granted, that has far-reaching ramifications, and that verse is transcendent in our lives far beyond marriage. But let's just concentrate just on marriage, just one point where conflict occurs. And I want to say that this is the cause of divorce because I've never met a couple that said, we're just having a great time, thought we'd just throw a divorce in, just to kind of mix things up. No, it's usually because of conflict. We don't get along. We're not compatible. All the vanilla things that we'll say to justify our divorces. But ultimately, it comes down to those are the result of conflict. We've been arguing, fussing, fighting at each other's throat, however you want to term it. Conflict has led to divorce. Well, what's the cause of conflict? Let's get to the root of the matter. It's pride. It's pride of me saying, no, I am not changing. It's not my fault. I'm going to have it my way. Okay. But that's not the way it could be and should be. God wants us to be humble, and he wants us to look at ourselves. And so I have three things that I'd like you to do if you find yourself say, this is exactly where I'm at. I'm in a marriage that it looks like it is headed for divorce. Well, then there are three things you ought to do. Number one, pray earnestly. I don't mean just, Lord, help my marriage. No, you need to get along with God, and you need to beg God to change you and change your partner and to make things different in your relationship, and beg God to say, if it's me, show me. How can I make this better? And then secondly, along with that, look inside yourself. Look at the person in the mirror and say, what can I do? What can I change in my marriage to make it better? What can I change about me that will make my relationship better? And then finally, reach out for counseling. I would recommend group counseling. I will tell you this, that it's very non-intrusive. It's very non-confrontational. It's really neat to share and have others share and see that they're having the same problems that you're having. And your problems aren't so unique and they aren't so bizarre that you're not the only one that deals with a spouse that you just can't get along with. And you find ways to work through that. I can tell you, in a problem time, my ex-wife and I went to counseling, and it was group counseling. Wonderful time. It was probably the best time of our marriage. That it was great, and we had a chance to look introspectively. And so I'd urge you, find places where you can have some counseling with your spouse. And if you do it in a group setting, it'll be far better. Three things you can do: pray earnestly and intentionally. Look at yourself and reach out for counseling. If you want to read the whole devotional, go to the link at the bottom of the page, and we'll see you tomorrow.